Hey guys, it's James Upjohn here from MagicSubmitterTutorials.com. In this video I'm going to be talking to you about submit items. Now for anybody who's unsure exactly what a submit item is, a submit item is basically any piece of content or material that we would like to upload to the different service types within the software. So for example, for article directories, the item that we would submit would be an article. We can use that same article for posting to things like blogs or WordPress blogs, blog platforms, and for bookmarking services or Plig bookmarks, the item that we can submit would be a bookmark. For videos, it would be a video, etc. So for us to create items within Magic Submitter, what we need to do is make sure that we click on the main tab and you'll see a blue book with manage items written underneath it. If we click on that, we can then see any items that we've already created. And by the way, if you're using the campaign wizard will create these items for you automatically once you get to the last stage of the campaign. But let's say, for example, you had just uploaded a video or you had just done a press release, and instead of running a full campaign, you decided that maybe actually you only wanted to send through some bookmarks, or you just wanted to create some RSS feeds, maybe you just wanted to put some profile links to it. Instead of doing a full campaign, what you could do is just come into manage items and you could just create a single item. Now it's important to point out, first of all, that you're in the right project. So let's say, for example, I want to create a bookmark blast specifically for my website. What I would do is make sure that I'm in the right project, which I am, which is technology. And then in this drop down menu here, I can choose which single submit item I would like to create. So for this first demonstration, I'm going to choose bookmarking services. And then over here on the right hand side, we can either create a submit item, we could edit its existing one, or we can delete ones that we've already got. We could copy a submit item, we could create submit items for service types chosen, or we could copy selected submit item to other service types. We can create scheduled tasks for submit items chosen. We can import submit items from CSV files. We can create CSV import files, and we can do the same things for text. We can import from text file, or we can export to text format. Now, I'm going to go through in this video and explain what each one of these buttons do as we progress. But just to start with, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come into this one here that's already been created. I'm going to check it and I'm going to click on edit just so that you can get a visual idea of exactly what this bookmarking service is. So I'm going to click on edit submit item. And we can see in here that for us to be able to create a submit item, we need to give our bookmark a title, we need to give our bookmark a URL, we need to give it some tags, and we also need to give our bookmark a description. Now, because this was created by the campaign wizard, this bookmark URL has got a pound in it. If you're going through the campaign wizard, there will be dynamic links in here like this. If you're going to be creating single submit items not to be using in a campaign, then you can't use these dynamic links. You would have to actually type out the full URL, and I will show you that when we go through in a second and create an actual submit item. But for the benefit of this, we've got here bookmark title. So what I did here was I wrote out a title that I wanted to use for my bookmarks, and then I made sure that I spun this on sentence level and on word and phrase level, so that now when I come in here and I click on this rewrite article button, you can see that all of my bookmarks are going to have different titles. You'll see how this will change every time I click it. So this is great because Magic Submitter supports spun syntax, and if you're not too familiar with spinning, definitely check out the video that I've already done which talks about article spinning in more details. You can find that in the members area. magicsubmitter.com/training, and look for the video titled article spinning. It's great that it supports that format. It means that every time we submit our content to a new website, we can make sure that we're not posting duplicate content. Next, we've got tags. Tags are like topics. So I've put a few different tags in here. If I was to open this up and just show you, I'm picking quite generic things like phones, cells, cell phones, mobile phones, smartphones, etc. And I have got some of my keywords in there too. And again, if I was to rewrite this, you're going to see that sometimes I've got one keyword, sometimes I've got two keywords, sometimes I've got three. So this is fantastic. It supports nested spinning too. And then finally, we've got a description down at the bottom here, where again, this is really well spun. So every time I submit this, I'm going to have a unique variation of this being submitted. So using a tool like Magic Article Rewriter, which I really recommend if you have Magic Submitter, it is an add-on. It's a $47 one-time payment, but I do really recommend it if you want to make sure that you're staying safe and not submitting duplicate content out there. Down the bottom here, you can see as well that when this submit item was created, I told Magic Submitter to use random profiles to submit this content. And basically what that means is, within this project, there's 4 different profiles. And so not only is Magic Submitter going to submit random titles and tags and descriptions, but it's also going to choose random profiles to submit. So it looks like my links are coming from lots of different people rather than the same person every single time. For any one of these, if I just click save on this, if I was to create a new bookmarking service, what I can do up in the top right corner is click here for help. And Magic Submitter is going to tell me exactly what the service is. So bookmarking is a method for internet users to share, organize, search and manage bookmarks of web resources. Bookmarking sites allow you to post bookmarks to your favorite web pages. And this will tell you right here exactly what we need to put in each box. So it's telling us what to do with our titles, what to do with our URLs, what to do with our tags, and what to do with our descriptions as well. It kind of gives best practices for each field. And the great thing is, if I was to cancel out of this one and I was to go into something else, let's say you didn't know what PDF file sharing sites were, for example, you can again go into it and click here for help. It'll tell you exactly what it is, and it's also going to tell you exactly how to fill these ones in too. So let's say I wanted to submit my website just to a handful of article directories. What I can do is come up here, click create submit item. I'm already quite familiar with what the rules are for this one, but again, just make sure you familiarize yourselves with that. And what I would do here next is I would put my item that I would like to submit in here. So I'm just going to open up a spun file that I've already got ready here. And I want to take my spun article title and I want to put that into my article title box. Then I need my article summary. And for that, I'm just going to grab the entire first paragraph and put that into here. Then the article body, I'm going to take the full article, but not the title, and I'm going to put that into my article body. And what I'm also going to do is just scroll down here, and because I've not got any links in my article at the moment, I'm also going to paste it into this box that says article body with links, and then I'm just going to add my links to this in a few minutes. Next, we've got a resource box, and for the resource box, you want to be putting something in here like, for more information, please visit the following website. Now, because this is a single submit item, we need to make sure that the format that we're putting our links in is, if I just click here for help, you can see that if we was doing a campaign, we would use this dynamic link, but because we're not, we want to be using this format right here. So a quick tip just to make sure you get it right, just copy that exactly as it is, paste that into here, click on this wizard icon so that it opens up the rewriter, and then I'm just going to change what's in here now. So I'm just going to put in here Samsung Galaxy S2 specifications, and then I'm just going to spin some anchor text right here. So I've got some anchor text in here now. A real quick demonstration in regards to how we can use Magic Submitter to spin these items. Like I said, I've done a more comprehensive one for article spinning, but just as a quick demo, what we're going to do here is I'm going to click on the binoculars first, just so that it'll highlight some of these words in red, and I'm going to just highlight these words for more information, click on this notepad and pencil here, and I could say here, for more articles, to learn more, to find out more, for more info, for additional information, to read more, to acquire more information. We could say, please visit. I could say, look over, check out, kindly visit, please go to, please see, the following, website. We could say website, internet site, web page. Okay, so if I was to look at this now, within just a couple of seconds, I've done a resources box, which is going to have different anchor text in it each time. And every time I click on this here, to learn more, check out the following site, every single one of these is going to be different. In regards to anchor text and spun percentages, to be safe in regards to Penguin 2.0, make sure that you are really diversifying your anchor text. You could also include things in here like click here or find out more. You could include things like visit us, etc. Magic Submitter does actually use a shortcode, which is a square bracket followed by a gen anchor and another square bracket. And basically, just to demonstrate what that would do if I just put it down here on its own, every time I click on the magic wand icon, it's going to change that gen anchor to generic anchor text. Things like this site, there it says more hints, full file. So it's a good idea to use things like that within your anchor text as well. So I'm going to click OK on this. And now my article body doesn't currently have any links in it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy my article resource box. I'm going to go down to the bottom of my body with links. And I'm just going to drop that resource box onto the bottom there. So that now my body with links does actually have a link in it. It is possible as well, if I go back into this click here for help, just to show you that within the article body with links, you can put 2 links in there. Okay, for this demonstration, I'm just going to leave it at 1, but you could put another link in there if you wanted to. Article keywords, I'm just going to put some keywords in here. Again, I'll just spin these. Let's say choose Samsung or Samsung Galaxy. And these article keywords should be treated like topics because they're going to be used as tags for our article. They're kind of at the bottom of the article just to let people know at a quick glance exactly what the article should be about. So we can use some generic stuff in here as well, like phones or Samsung, or let's say cell phones. I think I've just used Samsung twice in there. I'll take one of those out. You can really, again, diversify this as much as you want to. Make sure that you've got lots of variations in here. It's all about trying to make it as unique as possible and staying as safe as possible. So this is my submit item here. I'm going to tell Magic Submitter to use random profiles for this one as well. Check all 4 of those. And then finally, what I would need to do over here on the right hand side is just tell Magic Submitter that you'll see a lot of these sites here require that categories are chosen. So the easiest way for us to choose categories is to set categories. We can choose our niche from the drop down menu. In this case, let's say computers and technology. And then I can click on this set category filter. And you'll see within a couple of seconds, Magic Submitter is going to add all of those categories for us to the right hand side here. Okay, so Magic Submitter has done a really good job there of going through and finding all of the different categories for me based on the niche that I've just selected. But you will notice that there are some of these in here that it was unable to find categories for. If I wanted to, I could go back into set categories and choose a different niche, another niche that was related, let's say business for example, and try and reset it again and see if Magic Submitter could find any of these last few. Or I could go through here. Let's just say, for example, that I was to pick something here, electronica. What I recommend doing as well is just remember that it's probably going to be a good idea to make sure that you are only submitting to relevant categories. So if I can't find anything here, rather than just choosing a random one, the last thing that I'd want to do is for Google to find lots of my articles in completely unrelated categories, because that could potentially look like spam. So I'm just going to have a quick look at this one. I could potentially put it in, let's have a look and say maybe lifestyle. And let's just say that I had gone through and I had set all of these categories. What I could do next is I could tell Magic Submitter to save these categories, and I could call this computer categories. And I would do this if I had set loads of custom ones. Next time when I come to do a submit item, rather than me having to go through and reset all of these again, all I would need to do is just to come in here and click load categories and then choose my computer's ones, and it would save all of those for me. So I'm just going to click save on this now, and you can see that Magic Submit has just gone and created this submit item for me. And just to demonstrate this again, if I was to click on the edit, you'll see the second one, the one at the bottom is the most recent one, and at the bottom here is where I put that link in with a resource box. So this is the one right here. So I'm going to click save on that. And now what I can do is I've created it for one service type. What I could do now is I could copy this submit item by checking it and clicking copy, and then I could paste it, and Magic Submit has now created an exact duplicate. And let's say that's because it was a really, really well spun article. What I might want to do is to come in here and edit it. I might want to keep the article body the same, but I might just want to change the title, how to choose the right phone for you. I would obviously go through and spin that. I might decide to just change the article keywords, change the resource box a little tiny bit, but the article summary, the article body, and the body with links would stay exactly the same. And then I could just come through and do that again. So that's a great thing to be doing there. I don't want to do that for the sake of this one though. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to highlight it and I can delete that item. Now what I could do is I could copy this to other service types. If I was to say I wanted to only post this article to blogs, well, Magic Submit has already got the title, because the title is used in both articles and blogs and bookmarks. It's used in lots of different services actually. And we've already written a title and spun it really well. The same thing with the summary and the body with links. The description's grayed out, so is the URL. So the only thing that we actually need to do with this is put in the post page name. So I could just copy what's up in the title and paste it into the post page name and click create. And now under the blogs, I've got that second submit item that's just been created, which says top tips for getting the most from your Samsung Galaxy. So that's really good, that with just a couple of clicks of a button, I only need to create one item and I could copy it across to other service types. The next thing to look at would be to create an item for multiple service types. And what I'm going to do here just to demonstrate this is it's this button here, create submit items for service types chosen. If I click on this now, let's say that I wanted to create a submit item for articles and bookmarks and blogs, and let's say WordPress blogs. What Magic Submit is doing is it's opening up all of the different fields here that are going to be required. And now for this, rather than me having to fill all of these things in lots of times, I'd only have to fill in 8 different boxes, and I'm going to have created all of the content that I'll need to submit to articles, bookmarks, blogs, and WordPress blogs. So this is brilliant. So for demonstration purposes, I'm just going to put in here test spun title, and I'm just going to head back to my article again. The reason for doing that with a test spun article is just to show you how it's going to create all of those different nodes for me. I'm going to put my summary in here, body with links. For speed's sake, I'm just going to take this whole thing again, copy this, paste it into body with links. While I'm here, I'm going to paste it into body without links because there's no links in it. Keywords, I'm just going to just write Samsung. Again, this is just for demonstration purposes. URL, I'll just type out samsung.com. Article resource box, check this great site. I'm going to put my URL onto the end of this. Spun keywords go in here. And then finally, we just need to put in the post page name, which spun title. Okay, now if I click create, Magic Submit has put test spun article. I could go into this and edit it, and you'll see that it's filled all of the information in for that particular item. If I was to go down into blogs, I've got test spun article in there too. If I was to go down to WordPress blogs, test spun article in there too. So it's a really quick way to get most of your content together quickly, get all of your items done using that button there. The next thing to look at here is import submit items from CSV and create CSV import file. If you're using outsourcers or you like to manage your content in a slightly different way than having to copy and paste it all every time, What you could do with this is a brilliant little feature. I could take my article directories, I could check one of these right here, one of these items, and I can click create CSV import file. And then I could give this a file name as, let's just call this outsource articles, and click open. So Magic Submitters give me the template that's needed for creating article titles, article summaries, etc. So I could give this to an outsourcer and I could tell them to put all of my spun content in here. Let's just say, for example, this title was article 1. All they would do is put a spun article title in the first column, a summary in the second column. They would put the article body in the next one, the resource box, the article keywords, and the article body with links. You would obviously tell them what goes in each box to start with. So they could go and prepare all of this, and then you could end up with a CSV file that's got lots of different items in it. Once they send me that file back, I can then come into here and I could click on import submit items from CSV. And then Magic Submitter will import each one of those with all of the information filled in correctly that they've sent me for all of those different articles. So rather than me having to put all the info in, it's just literally a one-click import, which is brilliant because once I've imported it, I can then copy that to all of my other service types. I've got all of the content that I need for my Magic submissions. Really powerful stuff. Again, we could do exactly the same thing here, but instead of doing it by CSV, we can do it with text files. So we can import from text file or we can export text format. So again, we just check on this box, click export to text format, we'll save it to the desktop, and then we'll just look for, on my desktop, test spun up title. And if I was to click on this file here, this will show you exactly the format that it needs to go. So your outsourcer would give it back to you. They would leave these pound symbols in there with the article title and just put it in there for you spun. They'll put the summary there and they'll put the article body there, save it for you, and you can import it back in exactly the same way. Really great, powerful stuff. The last thing to talk to you about whilst we're here is, let's say that I wanted to now schedule all of these out. I could come over and I could click on create scheduled tasks for submit items chosen. So I've now created my items. Let's go over create scheduled tasks. Okay, start submission at, we could tell it to start the task straight away. We can see here it wants to start at 11:10, or we can move it into the future. Let's say I wanted to do it tomorrow. Delay between tasks. We can set a delay if we like, or we can leave it. A good idea is to just leave it at the default 10-minute delay. Spread submission over. I might not want to submit to all of these article directories in one day, so I might decide to change it to, say, over 7 days. And if it was a really well spun article, I could choose to repeat this task more than once. I could also choose to submit each submit item to one service. Again, powerful feature that really helps you to randomize stuff up. We could take the first submit item and only post it to one of these at random. The next one, post it to one of these at random. The next one, post to one of these at random. Or if we leave that unchecked, it will just submit to all of these. Okay, this is now saying make sure that you've selected categories for all chosen items. We have done, so we can select all, and then we would just click create. If I was to click create on this now, you should see, if I change this to all, at the bottom of the scheduler, there's the submit 1, submit 2, submit 3. These are the 3 different tasks that we've just created. The last couple of things to talk about in regards to submit items is, if I was to go back into this, there are some service types that require files to be uploaded from our computer. So if I was to go to Web 2.0 profile, for example, it's asking me here for a profile image file. Just make sure that if you're going to use anything from your computer, that you have a dedicated folder for that. And the reason being is, if you tell Magic Submitter to upload, let's say, an image from your desktop, and then during the campaign you delete that image or you move it to a different location within your computer, then Magic Submitter is not going to be able to find the file path. So make sure if you're uploading anything from your machine, you don't edit, move it or delete it, just leave it exactly where it is. Again, that's exactly why I recommend a dedicated folder, because anything that you save in there, you should automatically know not to move it. And then the other thing to point out is, if we were to go into, say, blogs and were to create an item, what we can do, if I was to choose this one here and edit, at the bottom here we can see contextual links. The way that contextual links work is Magic Submitter will actually go through the article and it will see if it can find specific words. Here we've got the word Samsung, for example, or Samsung Galaxy. So what we can do is we can tell Magic Submitter to create contextual links, and we can edit this and we can put our contextual keywords in here. This is case sensitive. So I could tell Magic Submitter every time it finds the word Samsung Galaxy, I want it to link out to this website. And for demonstration purposes, I'm just going to put site 1 in here. And then let's say if it finds just the word Samsung, I can also tell it to go to maybe the same site or a different site, let's say an internal page, etc. I can come down here and click check contextual keywords, and we can see it's telling me that the following word, Samsung, okay, that's because I've done a typo. Let's check that one again. All contextual keywords are in the article. Great stuff. So we can click save on that. It's a great little feature, that check contextual keywords, because I didn't actually realize I had done a typo. So that just picked that one up for me, which is brilliant. I can now click save on this. And this is what's going to happen when I preview it. Magic Submitter's randomly going to find the word Samsung Galaxy or Samsung within my article, and it's going to choose a different location each time. So I can really get some nice variation here of my different keywords in the actual content itself. Contextual keywords can be used for your article content, for blogs, WordPress blogs, wikis, etc. So it's a great feature to be using, and that takes care of that. The last thing in regards to this is I could tell it to choose more than one. If I was to set it to 2 and click preview, you can see that it's chose Samsung Galaxy there and Samsung Galaxy there. Next time it's chosen Samsung Galaxy there, Samsung Galaxy at the top. With your contextual keywords, you could do some things in here, like you could be telling it to be sending to lots of different sites. And again, these links here as well are spinnable. So let's say if it was to find the word Samsung Galaxy, I might not always want it to go to just site. I might also want it to go to site.com/inner page, just as an example. You can click save on that, and then Magic Submitter will choose between the two of those. Let me just make sure that I close that bracket right there. It's a good idea to do that. Click save on that. Okay, so hopefully that explains to you in regards to submit items. Just make sure that as you're going through, if you're unsure of anything, click here for help in the top right hand corner, and Magic Submitter will tell you exactly what goes in each one of these boxes. I really hope it's been helpful, and I really look forward to connecting with you on the next video. Thank you very much.